Hello and welcome to another DCU Daily slash MCU Weekly. We have a ton of great stories for you today. We got a bunch of news, kind of downer news, but we also have some great quick hits that bring in, a lot of fun stuff back, a lot of great MCU articles like Bad Avengers Doomsday, Thunderbolts, Daredevil. Then we get into a lot of DCU stuff, a lot of crypto and John Economos and possibly a favorite Harry Potter actor as Clayface, but it comes from a untrustworthy source, so we'll see about that. But we have that and so much more for you today. So let's just jump into the news right now. I meant the opening. I'm sorry, guys. Anyway, you know what? I'm just gonna bring in Liz. Hi, Liz. How are you doing?
Hey, gang.
I am sorry because I'm so used to doing this, but
it's all
I
good.
literally did it by myself yesterday, so that's why I was like, "Oh, I'll get into the news." I'm like, "Oh wait, no, I actually have Liz today." I apologize, guys.
It's all
Sorry,
good.
I gave
I'm
you
here.
a premature Ryan Gosling. I apologize for
I'm not
that.
mad about it,
but,
though, honestly.
but
There's nothing wrong
Liz,
with Ryan
how are
Gosling.
you doing on this
Premature,
wonderful
mature.
day?
I'm well, thank you. Although Starbucks is officially changing their menu as of next week, so you guys are going to be seeing me with the Frappuccino in my hand every day until they're gone, and I'm really sad about it.
Well, maybe not every day because you're not here every day, but
Well, just picture me with one of these in my hand every day until next week.
Yeah, I don't drink Starbucks, so you know how it is.
Well, I don't drink it anymore after this week.
Yeah,
Times they are changing.
RIP Starbucks to you, I guess. But we have Caleb. How Gosling of you, John? So Caleb and Lenny are in the chat. Hello, lady and gent.
Caleb.
But now we will get into the news. So now here's your Ryan Gosling. It doesn't seem to matter what I do. I'm always number two.
All right, mister, I need to paint my abs on to get nominated. You don't see Robert Downey doing that.
You're kidding. You're kidding. I can't open the envelope without the...
Warner Brothers is heading back into the Matrix with a new movie in the works.
Wonder what other surprises are in store.
I want to be Bruce Wayne.
I like that. You're gonna love me.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see
right there.
You look ridiculous.
Well, not no more, he don't.
What, dude? I can barely understand you. Your accent's insane.
What
Give me a hand up. Nope, I'm actually okay. Thank you very much. Oh, wow. Wow.
News time. Unfortunately, we have to start with a bit of a downer news, which is very unfortunate. This news came in earlier today that unfortunately, at the pretty young age of 39, Michelle Trachtenberg of Buffy and Gossip Girl fame, unfortunately passed away. She was found unresponsive in her apartment. I believe we don't know anything now. Unfortunately, they haven't released anything. Obviously,
well, they have said they don't suspect any foul play.
Yeah, they don't suspect any like criminality sort of stuff. Like she wasn't.
But
like,
apparently, she did have a liver transplant.
She did have a liver transplant
somewhat recently. So, I mean, not that you want anyone to pass away, but it's always, especially when it's somebody like this, that you're like, please don't be suicide, please don't be drugs. Like, I'm hoping like it's not,
especially when she was a child actress too.
Yeah, I again, with no other way to say it, like, I'm hoping it's related to what she had going on health wise, even though it still doesn't change the fact that she's now gone. But
yeah, and it's a shame.
It's a real shame. Yeah, it's a real shame.
It's just like 39. It's not exactly like like 20, but it's not exactly like 80 or 90 where it's like, oh, they lived a long life. That's at least good. It's just like it's just a bit sad. I haven't watched a ton of her films, but if I do know anything off the top of my head was her role in 17 again. That was probably I think that was like the only thing I really watched from her. I didn't watch Buffy or anything like that. I didn't watch Gossip Girl, but I know she was also in the Black Christmas remake about 20 years ago. So yeah, do you have any favorites from her, or are you kind of just like
I mean,
have
yeah, I'm a Buffy stan. I've watched the entire series probably 6 times since high school. I hated her character, to be perfectly honest, but that's kind of a testament to her as an actress because the character of Dawn was so fucking annoying. And she played her really well. So in that regard, I thank her for her contribution. But it's just really sad because you know, it's one of those like these people you feel like you've known your entire life. Just through their work and you know through them just being around. So it's just, and especially because like I feel like we haven't, aside from Gossip Girl, like we haven't seen much of her recently. So it was one of those like when her name comes up, you're like, oh damn, like really, like. So it's a real shame.
Yeah. Um, Caleb saying Black Christmas had a remake of in 2006, also known as Black Xmas. Never watched it, looked like crap. It did have a remake, although the remake in 2019 was pretty much a remake in name only, where it's called Black Christmas. It takes place at a college. It revolves around a sorority, but that's it. That's literally every commonality with any of these. But yeah, it's a shame. I thought she was a very good actress. She was also in like stuff like Euro Trip and
Right.
because as we all know, Scotty doesn't know.
Yeah, she
So
was huge in Euro Trip. Yeah, that's right. I
yeah,
forgot about that.
very
And
famous scene in the uncut version, so there is that as well.
And there
Um,
there have been some tributes so far, like even Kenan Thompson has spoken out. I'm assuming we're gonna hear from her Buffy co-stars over
yeah,
the next couple of days. But I mean, like again, this is brand new. Like we just found out about it this morning, this afternoon. So
yeah,
uh we'll be seeing some tributes coming in throughout the rest of the week for sure. But just so
yeah.
sad.
It's a sad time, but it sucks. So we were just talking about Roberto Orsi's death yesterday, and unfortunately, we have a more known death. Obviously, condolences to her and to her family and to
Yeah.
her friends and all that. But sad time. But let's not dwell on that. Let's try to move on to at least happier things, I guess. Also,
Yeah.
Lenny sharing the sentiment of coffee tasting terrible. All three of us,
Oh
we
yeah.
hate coffee, so
Coffee
that's
sucks.
good.
Yeah.
Tastes like shit. But James Bond's Road to Amazon. So this was all about, talking about the various, bits and pieces in regards to, now that, as we've talked about for the last couple days, Barbara Broccoli, and Michael G. Wilson, who were the children of Albert Broccoli, either by blood or by not, now have left in terms of creative control. They still own the character, but now they no longer. But now we're talking about kind of um the future of it, but showing things from the past. The biggest thing that was showcased in this article was the fact that apparently Christopher Nolan was either considered or almost signed on to direct a
It
Bond movie,
he
but
wanted to.
he
He kind
wanted
of
to.
tried to throw his hat into the ring, and they ultimately said no because we won't give up control. Like we have
Yeah,
the final say on everything, and he is a
yes,
final say kind of director. So he
exactly.
said, okay, well that's not going to work for me. And they were like, all right, too bad, so sad. See you later. And then
And
he went and did Oppenheimer, so it's all good.
yeah, no, he's good. But I mean, I said this before, Lenny. I don't know if you were here for that, but full agreement. Amazon will kill the IP now. There is no future for Bond. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty much
it's
nail in the coffin
again,
for
I'm
this, I
trying to
think.
be optimistic. The fact that the Broccoli's had such control and they refused to give up that control makes me somewhat hopeful as to like the tone of the kind of deal that they struck. I'm sure there's a lot of stipulations within that deal that was made, but at the end of the day, I mean, the Bond is just not going to look like the Bond that we are so familiar with. So we'll see what happens. I'm trying to be hopeful, but they're going to have to really do a lot of work on the first project they send out to convince people that they're not going to just destroy this brand. So we'll see.
But it is, Amazon is one of the biggest mega corporations, so we'll obviously see. It's kind of a, you know, it's kind of like a, neither was great. Neither was, it's tough because like at the same time, like they've been with the Broccolis for so long, and I think that more traditional style works for this franchise instead of like, oh, we have to have every spinoff for every character in everything for in every part of the landscape. It's like, no, that's way too much. And I think so I respect that they kept it traditional for so long because that's what made the character work. However, there are some progressive aspects that Amazon that could work for Amazon, but I just don't see it. I just feel like they're gonna do the Marvel thing where they're gonna get like all these TV people or indie directors that have next to no experience. They're gonna hire them they're gonna hire some shitty ass writer. They're gonna crank out a script in like 2 weeks that has 5 writers, and then we're gonna just get mediocre drivel for.
But and that's what drives me crazy about situations like this, because it's one of those like, okay, if you want to come up with an original concept and do an original story, then do an original story. You don't have to tweak something that's already beloved, that we already know, that we already have stories that we can use. So this is what drives me crazy about it, because people try to own these things and then put their own spin on it, and it's like, no, then just create your own project. So again, they're gonna have some really heavy lifting for their first project out the gate to convince anybody. Of course.
She's I mean, you know, being
we've been talking about it for weeks now. People feel some kind of way about
being
this,
the designated person of the British Isles. I know we have multiple people from the British Isles in this chat, but she's the main one here, and she's like, oh, we're gonna get a Q origin story, we're gonna get a Money Penny show, we're gonna get
probably
a fucking M background, we're gonna see like Bond as a kid. Like, yeah, we're probably gonna get all this crap.
We're gonna get a Bond origin story about him being an orphan or some shit like that. Or, you know, it's gonna be terrible. It's gonna be terrible. We're all sad about it, but like I said, I'm hopeful for the first project. I'm not hopeful for like 10 years down the line.
No, this is just a shame, and it's sad, and it's something we got to live with now. And I fully agree. Like at now, it's like kind of it would be like if tomorrow the BBC were like, yeah, we're done with Doctor Who. Disney, you can have them.
Right. 100%.
That's essentially what essentially what it is. At least with Disney, it's like co-producing for the budget, but it's nothing, you know, it's not like this.
Right.
And I can fully see like a lot of people in Great Britain being like, yeah, this is no longer us. This is not
absolutely.
This, like, he's a British icon and now he's no longer going to be. They're going to Americanize it. They're going to slash it, and
they're gonna like cast Chris Pratt as the fucking next Bond. Like, it's just it's very disappointing. Absolutely.
Don't give them any ideas. But although, speaking of casting as Bond, if you had your choice, who would you cast as the future Bond? I'm just curious.
I would love to see Idris Elba or Tom Hardy or Aaron Taylor Johnson. The couple of names that have already been thrown out. Everyone needs to fix their teeth, though. I'm gonna die on that hill. I'm so sick and tired of these leading men having the most jankety fucking bottom set I've ever seen in my life. If you're gonna play somebody polished and sophisticated and that's wearing a tuxedo, fix your jacked up jaw. Jesus Christ. But other than that, I mean, Henry Cavill, maybe, I don't know.
I think Tom
I
Hardy's,
still say Alan Richardson too, even though I mean I think he would have to trim down a little bit where, we
and
don't
he's
need
also
a
American. I prefer not to have an American Bond.
I'm saying, but he can sort of do an accent.
Yeah.
Well,
And
Timothy
I also
Chalamet,
prefer someone
please
who
no,
can.
please no.
I also prefer someone who can act, but that's just me. Oh God,
Would
Timothy
you
Chalamet.
stop?
But Tom Holland is Bond.
It's gonna be like Benedict Cumberbatch, and it's like, okay, but
No, I want someone attractive as James Bond at least. Like,
well,
come
see,
on
that's how
now.
I feel about Superman. We've already had this conversation, so I get it. I understand. I get it.
There's a difference there, but I think for me, Idris Elba, fuck no. Plus, he's way too old now. Tom Hardy, I think he's just too
I mean, I
grimy.
feel like I don't know that age is that much of a factor. Like this isn't Mission Impossible. Like no one's expecting them to hang off of a moving train or plane or you just gotta have to shoot people and be stealthy. And I mean, I don't know about age so much necessarily, but we'll see. It's anybody's game at this point. Again, but in the article, someone did joke about having Jeff Bezos play a villain. So I'm sure that's
I mean,
something
we did
he's
have
gonna
that.
make a cameo. He's
We
gonna
did
make a
have that
fucking cameo.
picture of Bezos as Blofeld, and it was
Right.
really funny. So
Yeah, and
I mean,
extremely accurate.
it's very accurate.
Yeah.
But yeah, but James Bond, it's dead in the water, but we'll see
Pretty
for
much.
the future. I can't imagine it'll be that great. They'll get
No.
fucking like John Cena as
Well,
James
you know what's
Bond.
funny is I think because it's just so beloved and because people are just so upset, like even if they bring out one of the greatest Bonds we've ever seen in our lives, people are still gonna just hate watch it because we just can't accept that this is what's happening. So, oh well.
And
End
Caleb,
of an era.
yeah, Caleb, I'm gonna give you a spotlight because you're quoting the parody that makes us feel all the same way. How about no? Yeah, that's pretty much. Thanks, Dr. Evil.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
But going on to the next thing, talking about Kathleen Kennedy. Well, we were talking about this the other day. Kathleen Kennedy leaving Lucasfilm. And, they're talking about who's next to take up the reins. Now, I've heard a couple names, pretty much the usual suspects.
Yeah.
With Kevin Feige, Dave
I was gonna say
Filoni, John
Disney,
Favreau.
so it's gonna be Feige or Favreau. Like,
It's definitely not going to
yeah.
be fun. The one I see the most is Dave Filoni because he's been with the franchise for so damn long, and
I mean, I could see
he's
it being Favreau because Favreau has done some Star Wars
it just
things.
I don't
Like,
see him as like a businessman, like Kathleen Kennedy. Well,
I don't know. I think you'd be surprised the things that he does behind the scenes.
I just personally I can't see it. Like I can't see a director doing it.
Yeah.
And
But he's
Feige
not a director
has his
first, so
hands in Marvel way too much. I mean, if he fucking does both, he would fucking blow his brains out 2 weeks in. I already
yeah,
mentioned that, but it's
yeah,
like
that's fair.
that would be way too much. And then Dave Filoni, I fucking hate Dave Filoni. I fucking hate Dave Filoni. He's so overrated. People view him as fucking Star Wars Jesus, and I'm like, Sam Witwer is right there. But yeah, honestly, I don't give a fuck about Star Wars anymore, so it doesn't matter to me. But
well, but again, Dave Filoni has also had his hands in some Star Wars productions already, so it wouldn't be too far-fetched to think that he was going to be a part of it, but whatever.
yeah,
I really don't care either at this point.
I don't care. Because the thing is, I would, in terms of like seeing anyone, like there's the three names that they were considering. But at the same time, I would want to see someone who's like a producer, and I don't know producers. I know like directors and writers, but I don't think those guys would fit. You would need someone. You would, as Dan was mentioning this the other day, you would either need someone like Feige who can do business and knowing the property, or do what DC's doing, have a businessman producer like Peter Safran, and then gets a creative like James Gunn. So one of those two things, whatever they decide to do, cool. I'm still not going to watch your shitty fucking shows and your shitty fucking movies anymore. But you know, I just at this point, like, as I said, the only way that this franchise is going to be resurrected at any point in the future is if the second coming of Jesus Christ comes in and performs a fucking miracle. That is the only way that this goddamn franchise will be even close to what it was before, but that's not going to happen. They're going to just get some corporate dickhead.
Times have changed so much. It's just not going to be the same, no matter what.
Yeah, people. Lenny also saying, also, why on earth did Kathleen Kennedy throw out the books that were canon? Can they retcon it all? And yeah, I mean, that's the only thing. Who did Andor? That's actually a good question.
Tony Gilroy created it, but as far as producing, I'm not sure.
Yeah, Tony Gilroy, who's done, he's done a lot of great. I mean, he directed. Well, he's the brother of the director of Nightcrawler, but he's produced a lot of stuff. But yeah, someone like that. Well, I mean, he's the showrunner as well. So
yeah,
fuck it, get Tony Gilroy, have him do it.
Yeah,
that's a good point, Lenny. But yeah, that's kind of it because I don't really care. Anyway, so final Oscar predictions. So there's been a lot of stuff in regards to predictions and who's going to win. Like we were going over this the other day, who the most likely candidate, and then who would you want to win. So let's get into that a little bit.
So I'm shocked that The Brutalist hasn't been doing better this award season. I truly believed that the Oscars were getting it, but it's all going to Conclave. And now that the Pope is like on his deathbed, it would just make sense if Conclave got it. But we'll see. I'm really surprised that Brutalist hasn't done better, given.
I mean, it's constantly changing. Yeah. So I mean, even Caleb said times are changing.
Well, I mean, we know Emilia Perez is not getting it. We know A Complete Unknown is not getting it. It's barely gotten any awards at this point. Wicked is just, I mean, it's not nominated for best, but
Timothée Chalamet just got the SAG, but that's honestly kind of it.
Yeah. Well, and again, considering who he's up against for the Oscar, I don't see him getting it either. But we'll see.
For me personally, I think if I were to, because this is what I like to do with friends. I like what we do is we do tallying up the scores and like all that stuff, like a fun little game out of it. What we think is going to win.
That's exactly what I do.
Following like Oscar stuff and what we want to win.
Yep, that's exactly what I do.
Then you get more points if you get the thing that you want to win, because it's like, wow, the thing I wanted to win actually won, not what I thought they would pick. For me personally, I was thinking The Brutalist, but now I've just been seeing so much of Honora. I think Honora might get it, but personally, I'd want to see Conclave win. I'd want to see Conclave win.
It would definitely be along the lines of like Everything Everywhere All at Once if they gave it to Honora. I know everybody loves Mickey, and Honora has been getting a ton of buzz. To me, again, it's still not a comedy. I don't know why it's been placed in that genre, but okay. But given what else it's up against, to me it's not a best picture, but I could see them doing that as well. So it's anybody's guess at the moment right now. But again, we know Wicked's pretty much not getting anything. So we'll see. We'll see, but I'll be watching it. I'm very excited, very excited.
Yeah. Lenny's saying, I hate Adrian Brody because he worked with Roman Polanski. It's like, no offense, Lenny.
A lot of people
if you're gonna hate people, if you hate the amount of people that are in Hollywood who has worked with pedos, then like you're getting rid of like 90% of Hollywood.
Well, then, but also with that argument, then Conclave should be completely out of the running too, because it's about the Catholic Church. You know what I mean? Like there's bad shit happening all over the place, and everybody.
I mean, there's people that, you know, it's like in terms of who they work with, it's like, you know, Harvey Weinstein dipped his. If we're going by fucking people who abused people, then you're crashing out like a ton, like half of Hollywood with the amount of people that worked with Harvey Weinstein.
And people who associate with Diddy. I mean, it's just, it's like There are
I know.
shitty
I
things
understand.
happening
Like,
all over, all the
I get
time.
where you're
Yeah.
coming from because
Yeah.
I don't support that shit either, and
No,
I want to
100%.
like boycott all of their movies. Like, I have actually never seen a Roman Polanski movie, and I have never seen a Woody Allen movie, and I want to keep it that way for as long as I possibly can. So
Yeah.
I don't want to support that shit. But at the same time, I've watched Bryan Singer movies. I've watched Kevin Spacey movies. I've
Right.
watched,
We've watched Joss Whedon. Yeah,
we've watched all these
anything
assholes.
Miramax. Yeah.
So we watched the Weinstein Company and Miramax movies. Exactly.
Right.
So it's like,
but you know, Caleb said he hopes Amelia doesn't win. Amelia's not going to win. Zoe is going to win because Zoe's performance was incredible in Amelia.
I think Zoe's
but
going to win.
That's probably going to be the only thing. Maybe screenplay, maybe, but even that's a stretch at this point.
I'd like to
because
see
again,
Ray
a lot of people
Fiennes
were unhappy with it,
win.
but
I think Adrian Brody's going to get it because there was actually a story I was reading that 2 Oscar voters. Now this could be bullshit, but I would, I totally believe it. 2 people said that they didn't vote for Ray Fiennes because he quote unquote already had an Oscar, even though he didn't. Yet they voted for Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, even though Adrian Brody won for The Pianist.
Right.
That's just the Academy for you, huh? I mean, what do you expect from the people that called The Tale of Princess Kaguya some Chinese bullshit? So, it's so makes sense. But yeah, I would want to see Ray Fiennes win, but I think Adrian Brody's gonna get it. I'd love to see Demi Moore win, but like something about it, like I think that's gonna be like an upset kind of thing because she has been like at the forefront. Same with Mikey Madison.
Yeah.
So I think Cynthia Erivo might get it, but obviously
I think it's going to be between Demi and Mikey. I'm disappointed that Pam wasn't nominated because I think she at least deserves that credit. The Last Showgirl was great, and it's about time that she gets credit for her acting and not just the way she looks and different shit that's gone on in her past. But Hollywood's gonna Hollywood, so we'll see. I'll be disappointed if Jamie Lee Curtis wins, to be perfectly honest with you, but for some reason they all love her and they just want to throw awards at her.
Wait,
and it's like, okay, that's fine.
What did Jamie Lee Curtis get nominated?
She was in The Last Showgirl. It's for supporting actress. She's been nominated for like all the other award shows for supporting, but again, Zoe's been cleaning house with that. So I'm hoping for the same this time around. So we'll see what happens. But
I think so. I think I thought Jeremy Strong was gonna get it for best supporting, but I think it might go to Kieran Culkin because he's cleaned house with everybody else.
And his acceptance speeches are just fucking phenomenal. So
I haven't watched any of them, so care to enlighten us?
There's no need for you to watch any of them, but his SAG Award speech when he gets up, he is the funniest fucking, like, he's one of those types of people you just wish you were in his orbit every so often.
Kevin Davis has joined us. Hello, Kevin.
Hi, Kevin. Best animated. The Wild Robot for me, again, I've mentioned this on the show. I went in there thinking I was going to hate it, thinking I was going to be bored, and I walked out of there so happy, so pleasantly surprised. I adore that film.
I assume because I was pretty much almost in tears.
Yeah. Oh God, are you kidding? So I want the Wild Robot to win. I have a feeling it's gonna be Flow just because it's so different.
Although
the animation is so different.
You have the Disney monopoly because Disney out of the last.
Flow is also nominated for like some international thing too, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
like I think it got nominated for like sound or something because I know Wild Robot got nominated for sound. So I think that might be the case. Flow. I've heard amazing things about Flow. Honestly, all of the animated movies, I wouldn't mind if any of them won. Wallace and Gromit, Wild Robot, Flow, Inside Out 2, and I think another one. I wouldn't mind seeing any of them win because I think they're all, from what I've heard, they're good, or I've seen them and they're great. I liked Wallace and Gromit. I love the Wild Robot. Here's the thing. I wouldn't even mind, even though I fucking hate Disney's monopoly on the fucking best animated feature category, because most times they win. I actually would not mind if Inside Out 2 won because Inside Out 2 is a genuinely great movie.
Was excellent. Yeah. Inside Out 2 was amazing.
It's not as good as the first one, but it's still really good.
Yeah. And I'm going through the list again just to kind of refamiliarize. I'm Still Here. I would really like that actress to win because I know a lot of people haven't seen it. Fernanda Torres. I'm Still Here. It's based on a true story. It's a heartbreaking
Yes.
story, but that
Didn't she win the
film
Golden Globe?
is incredible. I think she did win an award. I'm not sure which one. It might have been the Golden Globes.
I think it
But
was the Golden Globe because she
But as
hasn't
far as
won anything
actress
else.
in a leading role, that's my pick. She's not going to get it, unfortunately. It's probably it's going to be between Demi and Mikey, I think. But that movie was something else as well. So we'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
I think it's because they could go with something like The Brutalist, World War II 3-hour period piece epic. But then they could also do something like Anora. Like I could honestly, because you think you know the Academy, and then they fucking do something. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
1 year they have Green Book win, and then like another year they have fucking Everything Everywhere All at Once win. So it's like, or Parasite, or like the weird shit, and it's like,
I mean, I loved Parasite though. I was so thrilled that Parasite won
was
year.
great. I
Yeah.
preferred 1917. I think 1917 should have won, but I really liked Parasite. I didn't mind that
Yeah.
that won.
And
Was
then,
probably that. I think that was 2019, 2020. Yeah, the 2019 movies. That was probably the best year for Oscars, like the last truly amazing year for Oscars, because all of them have had like here and there, but that was like the
Yeah.
last year where it was like every single one I could see win had something great in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just my thoughts.
And then I'm just looking over adapted screenplay. I can see that going to Nickel Boys. It's probably going to go to Conclave because it's already won in some other award shows. And then original screenplay, I'm hoping for September 5th. It's probably going to go to A Real Pain or The Substance. But again, we'll see. I'm just really shocked how The Brutalist has pretty much been edged out this award season. I'm really surprised by that after seeing it. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. I wanted to go through some comments. Yeah, Lenny bashing the Academy. Honestly, we fully agree with you, Lenny. You're not going to hear a problem from us in regards to the shittiness of Hollywood. But Kevin Davis making his, predictions. Demi Moore, Kieran Culkin. Brutalist should be edged. I don't know what that means, but I think
edged out,
not
I'm
winning.
assuming.
Yeah. Poor Things was well loved, but yeah, because it had perfect timing. It like came out in December. It's like, and that's kind of a shame that like because something comes out in fucking March,
Yeah,
that it's
drives
less
me
likely to win just because
Yeah.
of the fucking release date, which is bullshit. It's
Yeah.
such bullshit.
Yeah, it's so disappointing.
And it's like, oh, Doom Part 2, you don't get anything because you came out in March. Fuck you.
Yeah.
But again,
well, and
Academy.
again, so Lenny's saying that Demi should win. Again, Lenny, is it because she hasn't been given her flowers after all this time? Because that's what they did with Jamie Lee Curtis. In my opinion, Jamie Lee Curtis shouldn't have won for Everything Everywhere All at Once. But people were like, damn, it's been decades. It's about time she gets one. I feel like that's what they're doing with Demi Moore, where, like I said, Fernanda Torres, if you saw I'm Still Here, you would understand what I'm saying. She deserves it more as far as her acting ability, not her history, not her time spent in Hollywood. For me, the awards should be about the performances themselves, but unfortunately, sometimes people get them just like Leonardo DiCaprio. When he finally got his, was that the film he should have gotten it for? Not necessarily. So while I'm happy for these people
Demi
when
Moore
they do win them,
an excellent
Oh no,
performance in the Substance.
no, she was. I'm not saying she wasn't, but
Right.
best in that category, I don't think so. But again, I'm not going to be disappointed for anybody who wins. I'm happy for anybody who wins. Certainly, I can't do what they do, so good for them. But
Right.
I'm just saying it's always interesting to me how the Academy votes and kind of why. You know what I mean? Because in my opinion, they're not going for who actually gave the best performance sometimes.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I don't know. I just like The Substance is great. I think it's an amazing movie, but I can see why people like don't like the last 15 minutes. And that is the thing that single-handedly ruined the movie for my dad.
100%, Lenny. Angela Bassett. Phew, absolutely.
Oh my God, I was so fucking pissed when Jamie Lee Curtis won. I'm like, why are you sucking her dick when you haven't given a fuck about her like for
That's my
like
point.
40 years? Now
That's my
you're all of a
point. She couldn't
sudden.
work for anything else, but they finally were like, "Oh, you have," again, just like Leo. It's like, "Oh, you haven't gotten one yet. Okay, now it's your." It's like, okay.
That's why,
Sometimes they're just throwaway votes, I think.
Al Pacino not winning for The Godfather, but he won for Scent of a Woman, which isn't a bad performance, but it's like that year Denzel Washington should have won for Malcolm X.
Right.
So then they gave him a pity Oscar for Training Day, which amazing movie, amazing performance.
But yeah,
Malcolm
but
X was the better movie and the better performance.
Agreed.
So
100%.
You know, it's like a whole thing of like, oh, we fucked up, now we gotta fucking pay for it, and it's like just
Well, again, I don't even know that it's they're not looking at it as like reparations, but yeah, I think they're like, oh, who knows how much longer, how many other opportunities we'll have to be able to vote for this person, so we might as well vote now and give them their flowers. And it's like, okay, but you're kind of dismissing better performances in order to do that.
Yeah.
So,
and on top of that, somebody actually did a fair point of not nominating younger actors and actresses and not having them win, because I believe somebody actually did for the last like 20 something years or whatever, or last 10 years, whatever the conjunction is, only 2 winners were born in the 90s. Jennifer Lawrence for Silver Linings Playbook and Ariana DeBose for West Side Story. So if Mikey Madison wins, she will be one of the youngest winners, possibly the youngest winner at 26, I believe it was. So if she does win, that would be a definitely groundbreaking thing. If Timothée Chalamet wins, I don't think he will. If he wins, he would also be one of the youngest, if not the youngest actor to have won the award. So that's definitely, interesting.
Well, I mean, Tatum O'Neal won when she was 10.
One of, that's why I said one
Yeah,
of, like,
yeah.
one of the youngest actresses. Timothée Chalamet would be one of the youngest actors. So
right,
it's all interesting, and it's all a big old race. But
I mean, again, I don't care about age. I don't care about how long you might have been in Hollywood. For me, it should be about the job. It should be about the acting, and it should be about who does it
But it's
best.
all about
but unfortunately, there's a million other factors that come into play. So
meddling,
I mean, just like any award show, the Grammys is the same way. So it's
Tonys, Emmys, Golden Globes. It's all
frankly
bullshit.
It's all about who you blow. It's all about who you blow.
It's all about the guac, guac, guac. So whatever you do, that's all about that. Whose dick whose ass can you kick, and whose dick can you suck? So kiss, not kick. But that was a Freudian slip. But I would love to see some Hollywood producer ass kicking, but that's just me. Just tell John Wick, hey, these guys killed your dog, and then just have him go ham, and then
there you go.
We'll do that. But anyway, now we move on to quick hits. Yay! Woo! Quick hits. People love the quick hits. Hold on, I gotta scroll down. There we go. That's left. So we have and these are actually gonna be quick. But the first thing I think you will love, Lizz. Supernatural reunion for the boys
God,
season 5.
I squealed when I heard this news.
Go off.
My God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I love the boys. I love Jensen Ackles. I love Misha Collins. I love Jared Padalecki. I have met Jared. He's a wonderful man. He was very kind to my mother. I have been in the same room as Jensen. You guys, I am just freaking out a little bit about this because I can't wait. I was so excited to have Jensen come to the boys, and now we're going to get more of him and his buddies. Oh, this is such a good day for me. I'm so pumped. I can't freaking wait. I don't care how you feel about the boys. I also don't care how you feel about Supernatural. I'm super pumped about it. So whatever. Can't wait. Can't wait. That's all I have to say. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's going to be awesome.
Good stuff. I liked Supernatural, and then I think I stopped at like season 10. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Like the first like 5 or 6 seasons, 5 seasons were really good. 6 to 7 were like okay, and then 8 to 10, I'm like, why am I still watching this? But you know, I do like Misha Collins. I think he deserves some better stuff in the future. Like, he was Two-Face in such a god-awful show. It's like, give this man another chance. I think Jared Padalecki he's an actor, and then Jensen Ackles is always great.
He's super nice.
I'm sure he was.
Super nice.
But yeah, sure he is. But yeah, this is cool for all the Supernatural fans and all the boys
Sure
fans.
So excited.
So yeah.
First of all,
guys.
Caleb, hush. I've also watched the full series of Supernatural 3 times. You shush. I don't care. I can't get enough.
Wait, who's shushing? I said I liked the show.
No, Caleb. Caleb said you're supposed to stop at season 5 because that's where it's supposed to end. Caleb,
yeah.
Shush. Shush. Shush.
Anyway, now we move on to TKO sets a Kansas City takeover in synergy push. I don't know what this is, but Dan had it as part of the rundown, so
yeah.
Well,
hi, Manos. Thank you. Good for them. I haven't watched wrestling in quite some time. I have met a number of old school wrestlers. Also, they're all very kind.
Yep.
So sure, good for them.
Cool.
Great.
I don't give a flying fuck about wrestling. So moving on. A little bit more of sadder news, but the documentary surrounding Helena Hutchins' death in regards to the production of Rust.
This is what
they get
we
a trailer
should
premiere
get.
date.
This is what we should get. When I'm hearing that Rust is still going to be released, no. This is what should be released. Rust needs to be scrapped. Someone lost their life on the production. The production itself was a little sketchy. We just stop it. We just have to move along. Yes.
It's going to be streaming on Hulu on March 11th. So in about like 2 weeks, it's going to be on the, Hulu streaming service. So if you guys want to watch that, then support that. And if you really don't want to support Rust, then watch this instead. But cool. I'm probably not gonna watch it. I don't know, just really sad. And
I mean, I'm not
a big documentary guy.
I'll be perfectly honest. As much as I'm calling for like a boycott of Rust, I will see Rust as well, because I watch everything, and I think it's important to, in order to form an opinion, to actually watch everything and digest everything before you. But I'm glad that they're putting this out. I'm glad that they're not. Just kind of being like, oh, okay, no one's going to jail. Well, one person went to jail. But I think it's important to remember that someone did lose their life tragically and for essentially no reason, for a little Hollywood production. So I'll be watching it.
Wait, what? Figure drawing saying John is an actual wrestler, yet he hates I'm not a wrestler. What? Are you talking about another John?
Are you talking about John Cena, possibly? But he doesn't.
Yet he hates WWE.
But he doesn't hate it though.
John's special move is the mock of death, I guess. But Caleb also has a point. Exploiting deaths, the documentary. There is a form of exploitation there, maybe.
100%. But it's also, I think if anything, it's if the family's it's the family. The family doesn't want you to forget their loved one, and they
Right.
So.
But let's move on to bigger and better things. John Lithgow about accepting the role as Dumbledore in HBO's Harry Potter. He's not an easy decision because this show is going to last for a while. Yeah. And he's going to be almost 90 years old at the wrap party. Because, I mean, they're adapting all 7 books again, so we'll see. But honestly, I don't know how I feel about this show. John Lithgow has me excited because I think he's great casting as Dumbledore, but at the same time, I don't like the fact that the showrunner was like, we're not following the books this time. So it's like, I'm kind of iffy about it, and the whole J.K. Rowling situation, but that's...
I'm wondering if that's why they have chosen not to follow the book, so that she can be as little, it has as little involvement as humanly possible, because I think everybody has written her off and has decided that it would be icky to work with her again. So I think that's where they're coming from with that. Like, obviously they still have to pay her for the rights to the characters and the story overall, but I mean,
apparently she's involved, so
she was heavily involved with the films. So that's the only
involved with the show.
That's the only justification I can come up with, is they don't want her to be a part of it. But we'll see. I mean, I don't know.
As Caleb said, why follow the source material when you can ruin it and have the fans hate you, so you can blame them?
Yeah, but everybody was mad at
like
the changes they made in Pottermore. Like, you're never gonna please everybody all the time, because everybody from reading the books have their own vision of what it should be, and then people who have never read the books and saw the films have their own vision of what it should be.
Yeah,
so I don't even know if I'm going to watch it myself. I might check it out, but if it's mid, then I'm not going to stick with it. So I don't know. We'll see.
It's just such a shame, because I would like to see a more accurate depiction of the books, because I think that, like, I mean,
especially if you're going to make it a series,
Order of the Phoenix has an entire season. That's
like
no filler whatsoever, because there's so much fucking material.
Yeah, well, when you're doing it on a show level, you can put literally everything in from the books in there.
I mean, that's what they essentially did for Series of Unfortunate Events, and that was great. That was a great show. So, I think, although Caleb just, being like, why follow it when you can ruin it? So Lenny giving us some good tidbits. Thank you for that. She's very involved. Her rights contract means she has to be involved.
Well, no, I mean, I knew she would be involved to some degree.
Yeah, and it's going to be on HBO. I don't know if it's going to be HBO. I mean, Lenny, you can feel free to tell me I'm wrong, but I don't know. I think it's going to be on Max only. I don't think it's going to be a conjunction between HBO and Max like the Penguin was. But feel free to look that up and tell me I'm wrong.
Well, and at the end of the day too, they're doing this just to try and bring in new, younger fans, because the fan base has grown up now, and they're like, how do we keep this going and still sell the toys and still sell the rides at Universal? And so, I mean, it's a cash grab at the end of the day, and it's disappointing. Yeah, but we'll see. I mean, I love John Lithgow.
I think he's a great choice, because like
somebody at the SAG Awards was like really cute and was like, oh my god, John Lithgow, like, oh my god, like they kept like I guess he was like in their direct eyesight. So when they're giving theirs, it was Colin Farrell when he won for the Penguin at the SAG Awards. He was like, oh my god, John Lithgow, I love you, John. Like, it was so fucking cute. So
I mean, John Lithgow can do someone like the Trinity Killer in Dexter, but then he can do like Harry and the Hendersons or Third Rock from the Sun. Like, the man has range. Like,
Harry and the Hendersons, man, that is the best.
He's just such a great.
You guys
actor,
haven't seen Harry and the Hendersons? You need to see it.
He just has, and like, I think, like, even though it sounds ridiculous, like Daddy's Home 2, like, showcases how he can be a loving, like, grandfatherly figure.
The service that was at 82.
And maybe if they eventually get to that point, they can, when Dumbledore does ask calmly, he will actually ask calmly. So we can hope for that. Yes. And John Lithgow is very respected in UK and Ireland. I mean, he did play Winston Churchill in The Crown, so he's not totally out there from playing British people and characters.
That as well. He was excellent.
So yes. So here's the thing that's hopeful, because as we all know, there was a specific rule from J.K. Rowling for the movies that she's like, no American actors can play these characters. No American actors.
Yeah.
So she was like, okay, none of that. But John Lithgow is American. So with this casting, does that mean eventually we will also get the amazing fan casting of Adam Driver as Snape?
That would be sick as shit, honestly. I would not be mad at that. That would be sick as shit. But who else could do it? Let's think.
Not Alan Rickman. I mean, unfortunately,
well, obviously, John, goodness sakes.
Also, why can't I see your camera's on yet? You're not
my
on.
camera's on. Where am I at? Hello.
There we go. You just glitched for a second. That was weird. Because you came back, I was like,
Keanu
what?
Reeves is Snape?
No, I mean he has the look, but
sexy,
okay. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Last time that Keanu Reeves played a British guy, it didn't go well. So let's not do that again.
Fair.
He has the look. If he shaved the beard, he has the look of Snape, but he doesn't have, I don't think, the acting ability for Snape. So obviously we'll see. And let's not get into that'll be for another day. Let's not get into fan casting, because then this will be a 4-hour long fucking stream like Dan and I's were like fucking 2 days ago. So let's just move on to the next quick hit. Last quick hit. Moana 2 gets Disney Plus streaming release date. Do you care?
No, I've already seen it.
Neither do I. So done with the quick hits. So that's it. Yeah. But now we get into your neck of the woods with MCU Weekly. Let me just get the proper banners. God, there's so much shit that I have to comb through. Anyway, there we go. Hi, John and Liz. Hello. MCU Weekly. So now we're gonna be getting into mainly rumor mill stuff, but we do have a couple things for you. First thing, vague shit about Avengers Doomsday. It gets an exciting story update from director, yet it's like the vaguest shit possible. All he says is, it's exciting, it's radical, and it will challenge audiences. And even he said that's giving too much away.
Which is something they say about every film and project they've ever put out. So
are always looking for new faces. Obviously, we're going to be getting new characters in this, and there are always new stories to tell. Yeah, there's almost like 80 years of fucking history to choose from, guys. Anyway, thoughts?
Again, I'm going to see it. It's probably going to blow my mind, but they say this for every project. Every project is a hit. Every project is going to bring audiences to their knees or whatever the shit. So, cool. Sounds good. Get it going. Let's just do it.
Caleb, Snape, get to the club. Love that. Manos coming in. Hi, Manos. Didn't see you there. The Avengers nowadays don't even feel like the Avengers, so I'm not that excited.
That's because they're rebuilding the Avengers, Manos. The Avengers is done. They're getting the new Avengers together, and hopefully we'll see them at the end of this film. We'll see what happens.
Anybody in the Marvel bag could show up, found a way into this, like just the most generic crap imaginable.
Right, because just like Chris Evans is retired. No, he's not, babe. No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not.
So. But yeah, cool. I guess we have like multiple interviews. I think these movies are going to be a surprise to people. We found a way into the story that's very exciting to us, but we think very radical and challenge audiences.
Again, the same soundbite,
the same kind of dribble over and over again.
Single project.
Anyway,
I think the only time they didn't use that was maybe for Madam Web, but
well, that was a different company, so
right.
But apparently we got a leak for Sentry, which is apparently might be the villain, probably the villain of the Thunderbolts, who is Bob, played by Lewis Pullman. Apparently we got a little look-see at Sentry, like a fucking, iPhone picture.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this? I think he looks pretty good.
I'm excited for it. I get happy when they introduce new characters, when they give new characters more screen time, give us a little variety. So no, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to how they supposedly his story evolves just within the one film itself. So yeah, I'm looking forward to all that. I'm freaking pumped for Thunderbolts. I don't give a damn. I am so freaking excited for Thunderbolts. I've already reserved the movie poster from my local theater when the movie is done and over with. I'm all in. I can't wait. Cannot wait.
Although Lenny posed us an interesting question, and I'm curious to know your thoughts because you're more of the Marvel nerd than I am. Well, in terms of the MCU, that is.
Right. Yes.
Is Marvel desperate at the moment because they've been saying they will only greenlight a finished script now, like Gunn has been saying for the last couple
Well,
of years?
yeah, because I think they're tired of having to explain themselves every time they have to backtrack. I mean, nobody will shut the hell up about all the reshoots they had to do for Captain America. So, yeah, how about get all your ducks in a row before you start freaking saying yes to things? That makes sense to me. It's just good business acumen. But you know, again, could that be just a soundbite and they continue business as usual? Yeah, very possible too. I don't
Mhm.
agree with every decision they've ever made, but I'm still very happy with them for the most part. So again, all in for Thunderbolts. Can't wait. Can't wait. Gonna
Yeah,
be
I will
super
say
great.
I mean, Captain America 4, even with the fact that none of the bullshit with the reshoots and the budget was real, I still didn't really have a ton of hope in that movie. But if I were seeing more Marvel movies, Thunderbolts, yeah, it looks like Diet Suicide Squad, but like, you know what? Suicide Squad worked the second time, so it's like, sure, why not?
Time. Not the first was shit in my
The
opinion, but
first was shit, the
yeah.
second time was, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I like some of the characters, and it looks like marginally funny. Like, and the thing is, Sentry is a cool character.
Yeah.
And he's played by Lewis Pullman, who's a great, up and comer, but you know what I mean. I know you
Yeah.
never, but up and comer in terms of like he's been in Maverick, and now he's being in like all these projects, and he's playing someone like Sentry, which is really interesting. So yeah, I just hope that initial rumor wasn't true of like, oh, he's gonna die at the end of the movie, and his power is going to be sent to 6 different people, and they're going to create a super team of sentries. And it's like, yeah, but why though?
Yeah. If it's not canon, don't fuck around. But I mean, whatever. We'll see. Marvel's gonna Marvel, babe. So we can't.
I mean, he was recently killed in the comics. I mean, he'll probably come back eventually, but like he was actually like, I think like 1 or 2 years ago, Sentry officially died. So interesting, I guess, but we'll
Yeah.
see.
Just gonna have to wait and see.
It looks
And
like an
again,
interesting suit.
they're getting heavy into the multiverse shit now, so it's anybody's ball game at this point.
Yeah, we also got a maybe
They could
possibly
kill him
something
off
like
6
this.
times, and it still won't be the last you'll see of him. So
Yeah, I mean, I like the yellow. I like how they're going actually with a yellow suit, like Wolverine. They realize, oh shit, comic accurate suits. Let's actually do that. Crazy, and because people will love to see that, and I think that's pretty great. Now moving on to Daredevil Born Again.
Woo!
Apparently, there's very strong reactions to you know
They brought the
what the
sauce,
show is.
gang. They brought the sauce.
Um,
That's a
you
direct
know,
quote. They bring the sauce.
it
Whatever
is
the fuck that means.
it's described as yet another dark and sinister entry into the MCU's character's ever expanded canon.
Some
And
people were even comparing it to the Penguin, which was wild. I'm sure I don't think I'm going to agree when I see it, but I can't wait. You guys know I'm all in for Daredevil. I love Charlie Cox. I've met Vincent D'Onofrio. He's a lovely man. Was also very kind to my mother. So I'm all in. I can't wait for this. I really can't.
yeah, but Eric Davis from Fandango called the first 2 episodes among the strongest starts for a Marvel Studios TV show to date. He was saying Marvel's Daredevil Born Again, whoa, mouthful, comes out of the gate hot, among the strongest starts for a Marvel Studios TV show to date, in my opinion. The first 2 episodes are terrific, setting up a story that is part court procedural and part all-out brawling. There's a fight in episode 1 that is all done in one shot with a wild ending. So, like the original show, really kicks off the series in a memorable way. Davis continued by comparing the series to HBO's critically acclaimed The Penguin, as you were saying that they both have similar vibes, but the fights in Daredevil are already next level. Honestly, reminds me a bit of The Penguin in terms of a city in chaos and a larger-than-life gangster trying to rule all. Similar vibes, but the fights in Daredevil are already next level. The show might have some of the best brawls we've seen from the MCU. I'm instantly hooked, and I can't wait to see where it goes. Screen Rant's Liam Crowley it was the best pilot of any MCU series thus far, and it's not even close. Edge of seat energy with audible gasps throughout. Charlie and Vincent haven't lost a step. Benson and Moorhead bring the sauce above all else. It's episodic. We might be back. Cinegeek editor-in-chief Rayan Akbar, it's a worthy successor, nails what made the original work while moving these characters forward in shocking ways. The grounded tone and grit is there, and the writing is as great as before. The action even larger and sharper. Traumatized, overjoyed, loved it. Perfect POC culture. It's a perfect blend of old and new. It combines the grit of the original with the flair of the MCU. That's the thing that bothers me. Incredible bone-crunching action mixed with the focus on character development that makes Daredevil special. Ooh, we might get some navel gazing, guys. We might have characters talking in like with conversations between two people, even though, oh, that was terrible. But you know, just like constantly, you know, pretty much like Chris Killian and Brandon Davis, Rachel Leishman, Eric Markin, like all of these, you know.
I mean, again, I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not gonna compare it to Penguin because I feel like the only reason they're making that comparison is because Penguin, you know, just wrapped and they're just so close to one another as far as the projects are concerned. But I feel like if Daredevil came out 3 years later or 3 years earlier, they wouldn't be comparing the two. So I'm not gonna bring that mindset into it when I watch it. But I'm just pumped. I'm just pumped.
Yeah, although this guy was a little bit mixed, so that's interesting. Eric Markin was the series borrows plot elements from Batman Returns and Batman Forever, making it somewhat familiar as a faux docudrama procedural. While tonally different, the strangest part of Daredevil Born Again is that it shares an episodic structure with She-Hulk. Like, that's a bad thing because episodic structures I definitely miss, with a guest star / defendant of the week presentation to bring new and old characters into the fold. So yeah, gritty, ruthless, and unforgivingly bloody. To be fair, the grittiness and the violence was not the thing that brought people to Daredevil. It was the great characterization, the writing, all that stuff. It's just the thing that's bothering me is why you're giving the man tits. Like, that fucking suit is just terrible. I'm sorry. It's just like, here's the thing. When Marvel, just hear me for a second. I'm going to full screen myself, actually. When we said we wanted the double D, we meant the logo on the chest, not giving him double Ds. You know, that's what we were talking about, not giving him the boobies. Just saying. I'm just saying, you know, just wanted to mention that.
Well, it's still no bat nipples, so.
Honestly, I'll take bat nipples over double D tits.
I knew you were going to say that.
They're just little pecs, like fine, like whatever.
I knew you were going to say that.
You know, bat asses are pushing. I would say bat ass is worse than the bat nipples, but that's just me. But yeah, so exciting as the Daredevil. Well, I mean, we're both Daredevil stans, but as someone who's way more excited than I am,
yes.
Just have pumped. It's just raising the roof. You're reaching 11. You're overjoyous and very.
I'm all
happy
in,
right
gang.
now.
I'm all in. I'm all in.
Caleb Underwood, to quote John Cena, "Boobies."
He's a damn good lawyer. That's all that matters.
The double D logo would have looked goofy. You know what, Ron? You look fucking goofy. If they can make this shit work, then
I don't
they can
feel
make
that way,
anything
Ron.
work. All right,
Ron,
Ron,
I respect your opinion.
I'm all in with Liz. Wait, that came out wrong. Damn it, figure drawing. Come on, man.
It's all good. It's all good. I got you. I wasn't taking it there. Be all right.
Let's move on. So apparently, there was. Speaking of Daredevil, though, there was a rumor from Jeff Snyder, our beloved scooper that gets everything wrong. He was saying that, you know, we're going to get Zendaya in a smaller role, but we're also going to get Charlie Cox as Daredevil. We're going to get Mephisto, and we're going to get the symbiote in Spider-Man 4. And, you know, they already said that no. we're not getting Daredevil. So that just shits on everything that Jeff Snyder said, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So essentially, Vincent D'Onofrio was like, yeah, we're not gonna be in the movie. I mean, it would be awesome to see Tom Holland versus his Kingpin. That would be great to see because Kingpin is both a Daredevil villain and a Spider-Man villain. So
Yeah.
it would be awesome to see that. But Spider-Man has his own rogues gallery. I would like to see those that have not been showcased on screen. I'm still voting for Big Wheel. Let's go Big Wheel for Spider-Man 4.
Cool.
No. Stiltman. Stiltman for
Well, but
Daredevil
don't
Born
forget, we've
Again.
got the Amazing Spider-Man now too, or your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man too. So
Yep.
you know, and they seem to be bringing out all kinds of randos. So we might get some sweet villains with that one too. You never know.
Exactly. Lenny putting it perfectly. We're going to showcase that because we love your takes. So, they haven't even written the script. How does Snyder know anything? Exactly. It's like, you know what it is? It's like Zach, Jeff. It's like the handshake meme from Predator, or it's like Snyder's ruining comic book movies. That's what it is. So yeah, like that's essentially being like, yeah, this, well, for you, we're not. You can ask that because we're not in Spider-Man 4. At least nobody has told me that we are. So, I mean, yeah, that should seem fucking obvious at this point. Like, guys, like, really? Fucking Jeff Snyder, man. Fuck that guy. Fuck him. Fuck, Only Time to Shine and Hello Again, whatever the fuck those assholes are, then frankly, they can suck all the dicks because, fuck
They
'em.
will. Yeah.
But even then, do you have? I'm curious. For that, do you have any maybe predictions for Spider-Man 4? Do you have any thoughts
No,
about it? Anything
not at
at
all.
all?
No.
Well,
I'm
okay,
just
wrong thing. What would you?
I
What
love
would you
Tom
want
Holland
to
as
see?
Spider-Man. I love those films.
What would you want to see? Let's
I
go
mean,
with
I
that.
want to see him get back together with his pals. I'm disappointed. I'm like bummed that he's all alone in this world right now. May
But
is
that's Spider-Man. He
gone.
has to be miserable.
No, it makes me sad. He's especially because I love Tom Holland. No, yeah, I want to see an arc where he gets back together with his pals and he gets welcomed back into the fold of the Avengers. You know, he's lost Tony Stark. He's only got Doctor Strange and not even really. So yeah, I just want to see him kind of pick up the pieces because right now he's flying solo and it makes me sad for him. But other than that, I
Nah,
have no
fuck
other
that shit. I
predictions.
want him to be alone. I want him to be unhappy. That's Spider-Man. That's where he works the best.
No, that's Batman, dude. That's Batman.
No, I want to see like he doesn't need to be Iron Man Jr. I want to see Spider-Man just being like street level hero, not doing Avengers threats. He can do them from time to time, but like I want to see him as your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, as the neighborhood Spider-Man, street level dude dealing with, smaller New York threats. That's what I want to see. And I hope they do that with the next film. Spider-Man. Caleb, fuck you for mentioning that name. We don't mention that name in the chat. I will fuck. If you mention that name again, I am banning you from this goddamn chat. We don't fucking speak of that name in this house. Let's just get that perfectly fucking clear, Caleb. All right? Just want to say that. Manos, I kind of agree. I kind of want to see Coleman Domingo as Norman Osborn in live action. He was great.
Yeah, but he needs to have better hair. His hair bothers me in the show.
Well, I mean, that's classic.
It's very upsetting.
That's the classic Norman Osborn waves. Like,
It's awful. It's
yeah,
awful.
I'm just saying
Very
that's
for a multi-millionaire / billionaire potentially, he could do better.
It's the waves. They want to see the waves.
Those aren't waves.
No. I'm just saying that's been with the character since the beginning, and people want to see that. It's become a meme at this point. Like,
that's questionable.
Anyway,
bad choices were made.
But now we move on to the wonderful world of DC. Now we're getting into DCU Daily, guys. Very, very exciting. But let's get started. First things first, a little bit of sadness, but we're getting into the Wonder Woman news of, it's been known that unfortunately the Wonder Woman game is canceled because DC is run by morons. So apparently Gail Simone was a consultant on famous, uh, famous comic book writer. She shared her thoughts and how disappointed she was on Twitter/X and why it went down and why it shut down the company. So, it's just going to show like, yeah, we were robbed of this. I might not be the biggest Gail Simone fan. I mean, she has done some stuff I liked, but like rarely have I didn't like her Plastic Man miniseries. I didn't think that was great. I didn't like her Batgirl run all that much either. If it's I don't know which one I read. I think it was hers, but yeah, it's just disappointing. This could have been a great game. They were bringing in the Nemesis system. They poured $100 million into this, and then just shut it down because WB doesn't want us to have nice things. I know you're not really a gamer, but what are your overall?
No, I know
thoughts on
nothing
this?
about any of this. But if you're sad, then I'm sad. What a shame.
Okay. But yeah, it's just like it sucks how like WB licensed this Nemesis system where it's like making like people around you either like worse villains or allies or that kind of thing. I don't know the specifics. Let me know in the comments of what the Nemesis system is specifically, because I kind of know it, but I'm sure there are gamers out there who know it way better than I do. So please leave those in the comments below. It's just a shame because Wonder Woman is such a great character, and like her getting like a prestige game like this could have been great, especially considering she's like one of, if not the best fighter in the DC universe. So I think that would have been amazing to see, but the fact that we can't get that is just very sad because WB is dumb. And they don't want to give us nice things. Because they also shut down Monolith, WB San Diego, and one other studio. So, I mean, Jalen, you're right. I feel like he's saying, I feel like the gaming industry has been bad overall. Yeah, I can't even name a single DC game I have played, sadly, not ever, since the Arkham Batman games. Okay, so Caleb, thank you, Caleb. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for your help. I will make sure to paste that. Okay, well, different Caleb Richardson. It's not because I read a headline that they licensed it, but you're clarifying. So thank you very much for this. WB didn't license the Nemesis system. They own it. Monolith invented it for the Middle-earth games. Basically, it's a system that allows rivalries between player and enemy NPCs. So yes, that's the Nemesis system. And they were going to use it for this Wonder Woman game. And then now that's, pretty much, I don't know if that's going to like go back to WB since they own Monolith or Monolith. I don't know how that's going to work now. But thank you, Caleb Richardson. That was very helpful. I wasn't sure, so thank you for clarifying that. But yeah, it's just sad. It could have been a great game, and they were robbed of greatness. So shame, but AAA gaming industry is in the shitter, so shouldn't be surprising. Still sad though. It's a tale of two Calebs. Yes, Caleb Underwood. We have Underwood and Richardson in the chat, but yes. But moving on, we have a rumor from our favorite boy, Jeff Snyder. He's saying that Daniel Radcliffe is rumored to be eyed to play Basil Karlo and James Watkins' Clayface. Now, with this, it's bullshit because it's Jeff Snyder. But if it were true, I would say give me, because that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Liz,
but
what are
also,
your thoughts?
and that's not outside of his wheelhouse. Daniel Radcliffe likes to do really random fucking roles. So
yeah, look at Guns Akimbo.
I'm saying, so I mean, even though we don't trust this source, it would not surprise me if Daniel Radcliffe signed on to a project like this, because he just likes
or played
to do
Weird
really
Al. He can do anything.
Dude, and that was hilarious.
Oh,
so
fucking,
yeah.
That was the best biopic we've gotten in the last like 10 years.
Yeah, because none of it was accurate. Pretty good.
No, everything was accurate. What are you talking about? He got shot in like 1983. Like, what are you talking about?
And he had a torrid affair with Madonna, 100%.
But yeah, Even though this is untrue, I would like to see it. Somebody mentioned James
Yeah.
McAvoy because James McAvoy previously worked with
Yes.
James Watkins.
I believe I
on, speaking
mentioned
of-
James McAvoy before as well. Yeah.
So
100%.
it might have been you, might have been the comments, might have been both.
Might have
But
been both.
I think that would be great because like James McAvoy in his acting ability is almost like a shapeshifter. Bro just really just changes like everything in each role he takes. But I would like to see him get away from villain roles, like have him play a hero every once in a while. Like we want to see a hero again, and I would like to
Yeah.
see that from you. So don't be typecast as villains, but I think
We'll
that
see.
would be
Might go
great.
into one of the
even
multiverse threads in Marvel. Who fucking knows? We'll see.
But yeah, Daniel Radcliffe. I know everyone's like, oh, he should play fucking Wolverine because he's short. It's like, no.
No.
Just because he's short, he shouldn't be Wolverine. I don't
No.
think he would be a good Wolverine, you know?
Not at all. Not at
no.
all.
No.
No. He couldn't even serve Wolverine drinks. Like he would be like a librarian in the MCU. Like he can't. No. Moving on.
But yeah, this would be a lot of fun. This would be great. I mean, we love Daniel Radcliffe, so
Yeah.
fucking goated. But it's probably not true because it's Jeff Snyder. Fuck you, Jeff Snyder.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
But yeah, I don't know what this is, but anyway, Sasha Bordeaux, well, Sol Rodriguez is showing off her Peacemaker season 2 Eagly hoodie. Honestly, I kind of want one now.
It's so cute. I want one. Want a little
Yeah.
Eagly patch. Hell yeah.
So, hell
Cool.
yeah. Also, by the way, because it didn't show up for some reason, it's also John Economos' birthday today. Well, John Economos and Stephen Agee's birthday. For some reason, the
And I
thread
still
didn't
don't
show
know
up.
who
That's why
they
it showed off
are.
this weird fucking thing.
See, that's
I
what I
guess
was telling Dan. I couldn't find it in the links.
guess it got taken down, but yeah, awesome Eagly hoodie. Sol Rodriguez, can't wait to see her as Sasha Bordeaux. Good stuff.
Yay. Happy birthday, John.
And happy birthday, John Economos / Stephen Agee. Because apparently it's like both of their birthdays. It's like the character's birthday and his birthday. I don't know if that's like supposed to be a thing or not, or just a weird coincidence, but
that is a weird
cool.
coincidence. Okay, cool.
But cool. Nice hoodie, by the way.
Yeah.
So apparently the runtime for Superman is not 2 hours and 20 minutes. This is a placeholder runtime by Odeon. The theater chain
placed. Doesn't mean that necessarily that it isn't. It could.
The theater chain placed the same runtimes for Thunderbolts, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, and the Fantastic Four: First Steps.
But also, every single one of those could have that runtime. Like, that's not far-fetched.
It's a good runtime. It's a good runtime. I'm not gonna lie.
That's a pretty standard runtime for those films. So that's really not that far out. I don't know.
So Caleb Richardson, not Underwood, he was saying, hang on, but he was saying, your comment got cut off, but regarding the epic crime saga, according to rumors, Matt Reeves has revised his Elseworld that instead of an evolving universe, Matt now plans to end the story definitively with and it got cut off, the third movie. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that's true, or do you think it's a load of bull honky?
I mean, what source are we getting this from? That's
exactly
the first.
Caleb,
that's my first question.
Source, please.
And also, he's got to finish Batman 2 before he should be talking about anything else.
With all the stuff in Superman, I doubt it's it's not going to be a 90 minutes long. I would imagine that Superman is probably going to be like at least 2 to 2.5 hours. I think somewhere in there.
Yeah, 100%.
I think that's just a good place to start everything. It's got a lot of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it could be 2 hours, 20 minutes. But that's
what I'm saying. I mean, again, you're talking about Mission Impossible. You're talking about Thunderbolts. Like, they could all be 2 hours and 20 minutes, and that's not unrealistic. So, this isn't really news, in my opinion. Because okay,
But going on to, we're getting more crypto stuff. Apparently, according to Phase Herofod,
James Gunn loves a dog.
Phase Hero Pod. I read that wrong. Sorry. KRYPTO series of short films is in development and described as seasonally themed shorts. 4 in total. It's the same dog we meet in Superman. So this would be fucking cute as shit. I would love to see this. It would remind me of the Doug shorts that were released on Disney Plus and as one shots with the Up DVD. I think that would be great. I think that would be absolutely fucking
Everyone
amazing.
Loves the Dog. Why not?
More KRYPTO. Why would that be a bad thing? Like, come on now. Jalen Harris saying, hell yeah, KRYPTO Nation, stand up. Will the real KRYPTO fans please stand up? Please stand up. Let's go. Mom spaghetti. Anyway.
Wow.
What are your thoughts?
Again, James Gunn loves a dog. America loves a dog. I think the whole world. Who doesn't love a dog?
Asshole cat people.
First of all, don't go there, John. I have 2 beautiful babies at home.
No,
don't go there.
I'm just kidding.
You better...
Fuck. Goddamn woman. Take a fucking joke.
But no, I think it'll be really cute and good for them.
Oop, there goes gravity back to reality. Thank you.
Gang, we're not doing this. No, we're not doing
So Manos is asking seasonally shorts as in KRYPTO will be a cute as in KRYPTO appear every season, plus it would be a cute leading to Supergirl. Yeah, I think that might be really good. Like we might be getting him in the fall. We're getting him in the summer after Superman. Or we're gonna start, but if it's in development now, we're probably not going to get any in the winter, maybe even the spring. We might get one in the spring. We might get one in the summer. We might get one in the fall, and then get that in the winter, and then Supergirl comes out in the spring. Well, almost like spring, summer, right on the barrier there. But that would be cool, like leading up to Supergirl. I think that's probably what they plan to do. They probably will. They might even release. That would be a good idea, but it also might be a terrible idea. Like a short with Superman, like what Pixar does, where they release like a KRYPTO short right before the movie starts, and then people watch it with KRYPTO. That could be fun, and then they release more stuff leading up to Supergirl. That would be a lot of fun. I would love to see that. That would be great. Dog Man Best Friend, Lenny, Christmas, Easter, Autumn 2026. Let's fucking go. But yeah. KRYPTO couldn't even be bothered to show up at the Puppy Bowl. LOL. Yes, because KRYPTO isn't actually real. He's a fictional character. That's why he doesn't show up, because hate to break it to you, he's not real. I know. I'm really sorry. I know you had to hear that from me. It's like finding out Santa Claus isn't real. I know. I'm sorry, guys, but like KRYPTO ain't real. Tis a shame, but that's life. But this will be awesome.
Moving on.
Next up, we were saying this a couple days ago. Authority's been one that's been the hardest, both because of the shifting overall story and because getting it right in the world of the boys. It's a little bit more on the back burner right now. Yeah, we were talking about this the other day. I think it sucks that the boys have become a hindrance on this, because I don't think it should be.
It's a shame.
Thing, because it's like it's essentially the boys is what if superheroes were assholes, and it's like, okay, cool, but
well,
like
no, I don't. Yeah,
I feel like the boys. I mean,
no, the boys is what would life be like if superheroes were real, and in that regard, I think it's extremely accurate.
Well, I don't know about that, but I feel like with the Authority, it's just so like far removed from like reality that I don't think you have to do that. I think if you go really exaggerated with it and like go really crazy, like some of the things I've mentioned before when talking about the Authority, I think it would be great to see like more of an exaggerated 80s-esque movie, like over the top action, kind of like what Punisher Warzone was, where it's just like this is like a tribute to an 80s movie. I think that's what the Authority should be, like over exaggerated action, but also but like kind of being in the 90s a little bit, because the 90s you had that over exaggerated action, but it was also satirized. Demolition Man is a good example where it was satirizing.
Demolition Man, love it.
where it was satirizing 80s action, but at the same time having that 80s action. That's what I think The Authority could be. Very 80s or 90s like satire. And I
Yeah.
think that could work. But I know it's hard to like nail that story properly because
Shoot an email to James Gunn. Apparently he's always on, so
well, I don't have Threads or Blue Sky or Instagram, so I can't, or Twitter. I can't reach him. So, what's your email, James? I'll let you know. But I don't know. I just think that would be a really interesting way to take it. But
Yeah.
obviously, it's just like a shame, like that The Boys has been a hindrance on it. When I don't think it has to be, because I think you can do that like very differently with The Authority. Like you could do a lot of different things with that because there's different like runs and different different styles of doing things. Like when Jenny Sparks was with the team, it was more like extraterrestrial kind of threats and that kind of thing. And then when she died and Hawksmoor took over, it was more grounded. Like they were going after like earthly threats of like dictators and like trying to change the world, but like in the wrong, like anti-hero kind of way. So that could be an interesting way to do it of like, we need to change shit. We need to like take it into our own hands and like kill like dictators and fucking out. And that could work in today's climate. So, whatever you decide to do, you could do a lot of different things that isn't just copying The Boys, because I think The Boys is its own thing. It works as its own thing, and I don't think you need
But
to be
also at the
worried
end of the
about
day,
that.
who really gives a shit about being compared to somebody else? You guys do this all the time. We compare DC to Marvel, Marvel to DC. Like, who cares?
Because then you're gonna get the people who fucking watch a trailer for this, then like, oh, this is just The Boys. I'm not gonna fucking
Well,
watch it.
okay, but you probably wouldn't appeal to them in the first place anyway. Because so who gives a shit?
So
It's just goofy to me. It's just goofy. If you've
Yeah.
got a good project, put the project out. Don't just sit around and be like, well, I don't know, maybe not. Okay then.
But Manos is saying, I have a feeling it'll be hard because if Superman is a way of expressing hope in a world that sees it as old fashioned, having a project like The Authority after that would make close to no sense. I think it would run it home because these are like the people that Superman are trying not to be and trying to avoid. So I think that would be a lot. I think that would be, I think that could have worked, but the script wasn't ready. So they were like, let's put this on the back burner. Let's like give it a few years time and then we'll see where we are. But I think The Authority will be one of the last of like the 5 official ones that were announced. I think The Authority will be one of the last ones. So, but yeah, shame, but we already talked about this extensively. Next up, James Gunn describes Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow as a beautiful, gritty sci-fi film. The film is currently midway through production in London. So if we're talking midway and we're at the cusp of the end of February, God, it's already the end of February. Jesus Christ. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Yeah.
Also, you keep getting glitched, Liz. I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, goddamn. But if we're halfway through, then we might be done in April. But anyway, thoughts on James Gunn's very short, vague description of Supergirl? Does that make you more excited? Does that make you iffy on it?
No, I don't care. I'm going to see it regardless. But they better not have any reshoots. Heaven forbid. People won't shut the fuck up about it. No, I mean, I'm looking forward to it either way. Hopefully it's good. And if it's not, then all right, shit happens. So that's all I got, really.
Fair enough. I think that's definitely an interesting way to describe the film, and it could be really good because of that. But so James Gunn mentioned something fairly interesting. James Gunn admits that he already regrets hiring certain writers to work on the DCU's projects. Who could it be? And I think Easton had a very proper answer with that. Our favorite little writer right there. But he said there are writers we've put on this project I wish I hadn't, but overall I feel very lucky. So he could be talking about, because we're going to be getting something later with
that's a really fucking shady thing to say, though. Like, that's kind of a dick move. Like, You don't have to say anything. You're not naming names, so why throw shade like that? Like, clearly someone really pissed him off because
Yeah.
that's
But I
that's
think
pretty
Tom King,
shitty.
because he poured a lot of shit into Tom King, and I think he's realizing, oh shit, he actually sucks as a writer. Fuck. All right, well, outside of that, I feel pretty good. But
That's
maybe
kind of
he
a
could be
that's a
he
dick
could
move, though. That's a dick
but he
move.
could be
That's some
talking
petty shit.
about,
That is some
you know,
petty shit, though.
he could be talking about Swamp Thing, how James Mangold hasn't done anything. He could be talking about the writers for projects that have, like, he could be talking about the writer for, you know, other projects that where the writer has not been announced. Like, there could be a writer for The Authority and it's not working. Writer for
But
Brave and
again,
the
why make
Bold.
this statement at all if we're never going to know who you're really referring to? That's just being really petty at the end of the day.
But Lenny's saying, I agree, Liz. So maybe that person is fired. Maybe. Caleb Underwood, cough, cough. Andy Muschietti, cough, cough. Well, Andy Muschietti isn't writing it. He's only directing it. So, and we'll be getting into that soon. But yeah,
Yeah.
weird thing to say. But, like, why does he talk so much? And yeah, okay, let's get rid of the N word on here. Tom King shouldn't be anywhere near Batman. Source, I made it the fuck up. So, but I think he like revealed this on like somewhere, but like whatever, just a weird thing to say, I guess. But yeah, moving on. Speaking of Brave and the Bold, James Gunn hints the DCU Batman may appear in another project before Brave and the Bold. I wouldn't rule anything out. He could show up in something else, but the actor doesn't exist yet. Thoughts? And don't say you don't care. Fucking give me your thoughts, goddammit.
But yeah, the actor doesn't exist yet. So, but again, this is James Gunn doing too much. Why are we talking about something that has no substance?
Somebody asked him.
No,
This was at a
like,
press conference. This was at the press thing the other day.
But that's what I would say then. I would say we don't have an actor, so how can I speculate one way or the other? Like, you got to put somebody in the role. You got to figure out what you're doing with that character. Like, there are so many other things that need to happen before I can just give you an answer. Like,
figure drawing, Gunn being vague equals his creative team overall catch and stray is not fair.
But clearly someone pissed him off. You don't make that statement without trying to make a statement. You know what I mean? Like he wanted someone very specific to see that, and that's why he put it out there, because he's never going to tell us who he's talking about. Never.
I thought this was funny. Magical Skyward. The actor doesn't exist yet. How young are they fucking going with this guy?
You never know. You never know.
But yeah, I mean that's pretty much a whole not. I mean, we were talking about this the other day, so like, I mean that could be interesting if like Andy Muschietti's really fucking up with this shit. He could show up and like he might come up in like Creature Commandos, Peacemaker, or something like that. Waller, who the fuck knows? But we will see.
Waller would kind of make sense, like even if it like just for a second they kind of like cross paths and in the hallway on official business or some shit. I don't know. I'm excited for Waller. I want to hear more about that project coming up.
Well, we didn't get anything at the press release.
I know.
So James Gunn, well, this is a wrong thing. DC Film News didn't get this right. I got to clarify. So James Gunn and Peter Safran confirmed, quote unquote, Matthew Orton is writing the script for Deathstroke / Bane, except he's not. They said he's writing a project that could be described as having Deathstroke and Bane in it, but not necessarily a Deathstroke Bane movie. So that led people to believe that, oh, he's doing a Secret Six movie. And I know Lenny was very excited about that because she was like, this will lead into Secret Six, I swear. So we might be getting a Secret Six movie instead. So, you know, it's not just Deathstroke and Bane. So that could be really cool. But
no, again, we like these characters, but we want to see the other characters that are in the background. So that's cool. So the familiar characters bring people in, and then we get introduced to new characters that aren't as well known. I'm all for it. I hope that happens. That would be great.
Yeah, Lenny, I think I agree, Lenny. He should have said it's in active development is all he needs to say, instead of like, oh, on the back burner, because then that will make people believe. And I've seen it firsthand that, oh, it's canceled when it's not.
Yeah.
Ron asked, how about a Deathstroke versus Bane? That sounds more interesting. Well, last time we got a versus DC movie, it didn't really turn out well, so let's try to avoid that.
We got great movie posters out of it. That was about it. Yeah.
I hope they go the Mano saying, I hope they go the Creature Commandos route and show a silhouette for Batman to make audiences feel like how terrifying he is through a villain's eyes. That could be really cool. Because somebody else mentioned, Caleb Richardson said, I would love it if we got Batman in Clayface, but we don't cast an actor, just a dude in the shadows, and he beats the crap out of Clayface, showing the mysterious nature of Batman. That could be really, really cool and interesting. But yeah, Deathstroke and Bane stop fighting because they realize their moms have the same name. But
That's
yeah,
the best,
so Matthew Orton, he's not writing Deathstroke versus Bane. He's involved in he's writing a project that maybe involves Deathstroke and Bane. It's not officially a Deathstroke and Bane movie, but it might be a Secret Six movie. So we'll see about that.
Sounds good.
But our favorite director, Andy Muschietti, will be the first one to read the Brave and the Bold script, says Peter Safran. Muschietti is not involved in the film's development. We're developing.
Then why do we care?
He says we're developing the Brave and the Bold script right now, and he'll be the first one to see it. Cool. But
fucking good for him.
If he's still employed, that is.
Who cares?
If he's still employed, that is, because we don't know if he's still employed or not.
If I write a book, my mom's going to be like the first person to read it. Who fucking cares? She's got it. I don't understand. Why do we care? He has no involvement. So what?
Jalen Harris. Oh, Andy. Yeah, that's pretty. Honestly, Jalen. Yeah, that's pretty much sums it up. Can we just fire this guy, please, for the love of God? Anyway, but he is working closely with the writer for Brave and the Bold, which apparently they have a writer. Probably can write a faster Batman script faster than Matt Reeves. Everybody knows I love Batman, and it's important to me, so I'm working very closely with the writer on Brave and the Bold. So they do confirm that there is a writer. We have a writer. We just don't know his name yet. It was rumored that it was John Logan, and I hope that's the case, because that would be really awesome. But I hope it's somebody good, not Tom King, James.
Apparently it doesn't matter who the writer is, because Andy's going to get to read it first. Exciting.
Very cool. Who do you want to see as the writer of Batman Brave and the Bold?
John. Whoever you and James agree on, that's all that matters to me.
Okay.
If James is happy, if you're happy, then I'm happy.
Okay. And, reiterating this 17 fucking times because nobody listens, despite the fact James Gunn never shuts the fuck up. Robert Pattinson is not going to be the DCU's Batman. Yeah. It's certainly not the plan. Like, it's 110% not the fucking plan. So, guys, shut the ever-loving fuck out of the idea about Robert Pattinson being the DCU Batman.
Get a life. Move on.
It's like he said this 20 fucking times and people still won't fucking listen. Guys, it's not happening. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm not talking about you guys. You guys know better. I'm just talking
you
about
guys are great.
The people out there on the internet that think, I think he should be in No. Eat a dick. He's not going to be the Batman in the DCU. He's going to be his own Batman if Matt Reeves can get this fucking movie off the ground.
Yeah, eat a dick. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Lenny, move on. Yeah. Yeah, well, Grace Randolph is a cunt. So fuck that bitch.
He went there.
I went there. So Matt Reeves says he had to turn in the script for the Batman 2. Yes, we knew this.
Shock and awe. What do you mean?
Apparently, DC Studios has a 6-year plan that would include an Avengers Endgame style culmination. Yeah. No way. Who would have thought?
Well, again,
Okay.
this is what I was talking about with Daredevil and the Penguin. This is what we do, right? This is what we do. We come out with this project, so again, fucking release the authority. Who gives a fuck? This is literally every project you do, someone's gonna come and, oh, you mean like this did, and like you mean like they did? Who fucking cares? Give us the authority, god damn it. Fucking shit. Fucking shit.
What are you talking? Liz, Regina, this John boy in, please. What the fuck does that mean?
Oh, she wants me to rein you in.
Okay. Well,
Apparently
I'm the
you're just
host, so
you're
I can do this if I wanted to. I can do that, but I'm not going to because I like Liz. So, we're a team, okay? All right.
Yeah. Fucking dynamic duo.
But Lenny's saying then all he needs to do is say Jeff doesn't work for me. He knows nothing. Don't believe it unless it comes from me. So, I mean, he has said that. Like he made like a big long post of like Deadline, Hollywood Reporter, Variety are for the most part correct. Jeff Snyder doesn't know what and other scoopers are rarely right. And then if it's some random dude on Facebook, definitely not right. If it's coming from me or Peter, 100% right. Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, Variety, for the most part right. Scoopers, mostly bullshit. Your aunt sharing a Minion meme, definitely not right. So, yeah. I mean, this is coming from the Hollywood Reporter. I mean, I don't really totally 100% believe this, but I don't want to see because again, I don't want them to just copy Marvel. I want them to do their own thing. And he already said that it's not going to be like phases. It's going to be characters, overall stories.
As a Marvel stan who is slowly learning more and more and more about the DC, I don't compare the two. I don't give a shit. You do your own thing, your version, your way. They're gonna do their own thing, their version. Their people get a life. Get a fucking life. Okay, these characters are similar. Some of the characters have the same fucking names. Who cares? Who gives a flying fuck? I don't fucking care. You can separate the two. You can enjoy them as their own separate individual entities. Get a fucking life already. I can't with this shit. Just watch your shit and enjoy it and shut the fuck up.
Anyway,
sorry.
We have one more thing. So let's just so this is the slate we have for the upcoming, although I don't know if the Penguin season 2 is right, but we are getting Superman, we're getting Supergirl, Batman Part 2 eventually, Peacemaker season 2, maybe a Penguin season 2, unlikely though.
Dude, we're getting Penguin season 2. Come
Batman Brave and the Bold. We're getting Lanterns. We're eventually getting Teen Titans, Authority, a Waller show, a Clayface movie. The 3 animated shows that were recently announced: My Adventures with Green Lantern, Starfire, and Superpowers, Booster Gold, Swamp Thing, Sergeant Rock from Luca Guadagnino, and then KRYPTO short films. So this is the slate. Here it is. Get pumped. Out of all of these projects that are official, what are you most excited for?
Lanterns, Sergeant Rock, Clayface. I mean, KRYPTO will be cute. I'm interested in the Authority just because I've heard so much and now they keep kind of like teasing us with it. Obviously Peacemaker season 2, Penguin season 2, the Batman, you guys, I love the Batman. So Batman 2, when we get it, I hope it's worth the fucking wait. I still say Superman is going to do better than most people think it's going to. I mean, I'm kind of excited for almost all of it because again, it's all still fairly relatively new to me. So what I've been seeing so far, I have enjoyed. So I'm hoping to keep the momentum going. So yeah.
Sure.
Hooray.
Yeah, I think that's really awesome to see. And I like, if there's anything I'm like not excited for, I can't really. I mean, the only thing is like,
oh, and Waller. I am looking forward to Waller too. If that does.
I mean, like I would say the thing I'm least excited for is probably Peacemaker, but like I'm not like not excited. I'm like, oh, like here's the thing, because I didn't love season 1. I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was like the greatest thing ever, but it could improve with season 2. I hope it does. I just think it was a little bit too crass, James Gunny for me. I prefer like when he has some restraint, like with Guardians. I don't like when he goes too R-rated. I just think it's just a little bit too much for me.
Fair.
I'm not saying it's bad in general.
No, that's fair.
I'm just saying it's like my style of comedy. Like sometimes it can be really funny, but it wasn't like laugh out loud. But I don't think Penguin season 2 is happening because Colin Farrell was like, I'm in no rush to do that. So let's not talk about that.
I mean, yeah, it was a lot with all the prosthetics for sure. I don't blame him
Yeah.
on that one. But
With the
again, he
fucking
loved it.
suit.
He had a great time with it. He's won a shit ton of awards for it. So I'm going to tell you right here and now, there will be a Penguin season 2. Like, come on.
Well, I mean,
Come on.
like, I guess
Come on.
crass is a long. So Peacemaker, I would say not crass. Crass is a wrong word. I
No,
would
but
say
I know what you mean though.
too juvenile. Juvenile is a better word. Even though it's supposed to be like this R-rated bloody thing, it can get some like toilet humor and like stupid kind of humor.
It's frat boy humor. It's frat boy humor. 100%.
Frat boy humor, yeah. Like
100%.
raunchy, Magical Skywalker, that's a good word for it. So I think we should get a Selena and Sophia project rather than Penguin 2, to be fair. I agree with that, Lenny.
I wouldn't
think
mind
that
that.
would be great.
I think they'd be down for it too.
We were talking about that yesterday. Like, oh, they should do, like, Kristen Milioti was like, oh, we should have a subplot in Batman Part 2. I'm like, no. Don't do a subplot in the sequel, because that, I think, would take away from the rest of the movie, when that should be its own thing, either as like a TV movie or a streaming movie or like a small mini series, because I wouldn't want it to be like overblown like Penguin with 8 episodes, maybe like 3 episodes. I think that would be better. Like have like a really small knit story. I think that would be great.
Yeah.
But like how this slate, both canon and Elseworld, seems to target all types of demographics, both young and old. Like I hate how people call this slate mid or trash for some reason. I agree, Jalen Harris. I agree. So Magical Skywalker is not really excited for the animated stuff. That's fair, but everything else sounds interesting to me. The KC coming in. Hi, KC. Been a while. The DCU is telling different stories all over the timeline rather than one linear story with the occasional prequel like the MCU. That's what he meant when it said it's more like Star Wars. Yep.
Jalen's got a question for us.
Who has a question?
Jalen, he says, do you think that DC targeting all demographics with this slate is a smart business move? He said he personally loves the slate so far. I mean, I think it is, because you're trying to pull in anybody, like all audiences, and this project will do it. This project maybe they'll pass on. So I don't think that's a terrible idea. Like you want to make it as universal as possible. But
James Gunn was saying at the press release that he's like, oh, I think the Clayface, he's like, Clayface is going to be like a body horror movie, and that's going to bring in the horror crowd.
Right.
So same thing with Swamp Thing. That's going to be a gothic horror movie. So you're going to bring in that.
I think it's smart. I think it's good to have,
Starfire.
well, because again,
bringing in all sorts of people.
Right. Well, and I think again, because the MCU is focused right now on trying to bring all of their projects in. Again, they've started bringing in elements with the Eternals. They're starting to bring in elements with X-Men to finally get them into the fold. And James has said, I'll stay canon where it makes sense to stay canon. I'll bring projects together where it makes sense. But there's nothing wrong with, like I've been saying, keeping certain entities separate. And he wants to do that. He wants to do justice by each character and each storyline. And I think it's a smart move. There's nothing wrong with that. Giving you a little, everybody a little taste of something, I think is the way to go. So I'm not mad about it at all.
Yeah. I just think, as Ron said, remember to fight for justice, just like this slate. So, yeah, and also don't bring in Lenny. Don't bring in like sexist shit. I'm not saying he should, because she's saying at least 6 episodes. Why should the girls have less screen time?
Yeah,
because I can't imagine a story that would be like 8 episodes long for just 2 girls causing chaos. Like I can't imagine like a huge story for that. Could they do it? If I would say this, if it warrants 8 episodes, then do it. But I can't imagine a story that would just be 2 fucking gals, fucking chaotic gals causing chaos. I can't imagine that would be for a super long, huge story. Like the Penguin had like all these layers of like power dynamics, and like it was about the Penguin, it was about the family, it was about her, it was about a whole bunch of stuff. I like Catwoman, we already saw a bunch of her story. I can't imagine her going into a direction that much. Sophia has more time to like tell her story, like what would be her life after Arkham. I assume after Arkham. But I think if it warrants 6 to 8 episodes, sure. But I can't imagine it being very long with the style of story I think they would go with. That's all I'm saying.
No, I agree.
So Casey being like, I really like the concept for Starfire. It sounds funny, cute, but where the fuck the Wonder Woman animators? I don't know. We're getting Paradise Lost. We're getting the fucking prequel series. So, I know a lot of people want to see Wonder Woman, but the thing is, we've gotten a lot of Wonder Woman. We've barely gotten anything of Starfire. So I think it's awesome that Starfire is getting a nice series that's going to be like, not prepubescent, but like kind of preteen teenager. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, I think we're getting into a lot of fun stuff with DC. Just it's an exciting time to be a DC fan. We're getting all these projects. Sure, some things might be rocky and flawed, but
nature.
we're just gotta roll with the
Life.
punches and
Yeah.
get pumped for the projects in the future. But that's kind of it for today. I think thank you all for watching. Got Lenny. Love to see you, Lenny, even though calling me sexist and shit, like that's not fair. Magical Sky Wizard, Casey, Jalen, Manos, Ron.
Both Caleb's.
Yeah, both Caleb's, Caleb Underwood and Caleb Richardson, figure drawing, Ron. I think I mentioned him already. I think
Steven.
yes, Steven was another person that came in. I think that's kind of it. It was just kind of the usual suspects today, but yeah, it was
Manos.
Manos, Jalen, all you guys. Great to see you. We love I know, I'm just teasing you, Lenny. That's all. Maybe there's something that if they can do it, then if they can make a fucking
if it
6
makes
episode
sense,
epic,
yeah.
then go for it. I just can't think of anything. But I'm not really focused on that because I'm not a writer for the show. I'm not Lauren LaFranc, so I don't need to worry about that. But I'll leave everything to her because she did amazingly on the Penguin.
She sure did.
Thanks for watching. We unfortunately don't have any fan comments. We're gonna try and get into that tomorrow. But that's about it. Thanks all for watching. We love each and every one of you. We love watching us, and remember, subscribe and click the bell, as Marco was saying. So when we go live, weird times, all that stuff. Subscribe and click the bell. Make sure to comment. We'll try to do fan comments tomorrow for the people watching after the live show. Antonio saying hit the like button, guys. Fucking hit that like button.
Hit it.
They gotta pump those. We got 19 watchers, 12 likes. Pump those numbers up.
Math ain't mathin', gang.
And family. I'm not gonna play the clip. I'm just
saying it. It's not worth. Then it's not worth it. Then it's not worth it.
Okay, I'll play.
You don't turn your back on family.
Anyway.
Don't be wasting our time. Come on.
Okay.
Give us what we want.
But like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. I'm terrible at goodbyes, so I apologize. But we will see you tomorrow for another DCU Daily. Tell us anything DC related. Tell us any news. Show us all the shit. We love each and every one of you. But we'll see you later. Have fun. Have a good rest of your night or day or afternoon or whatever it is for all of you.
Wherever you may be.
Wherever you may be. Peace out.